Lots of us have trouble sleeping, but at least we don't have to worry about predators trying to eat us while we snooze. For the chinstrap penguin, though, that's a real problem. And to help combat it, these flightless birds have evolved to sleep more than 10,000 times per day. The chinstrap penguin is a medium-sized penguin native to the southernmost regions of the Atlantic Ocean. It gets its name from the thin black band or strap that runs through its bill. And like most animals, it sleeps at night to avoid being eaten by daytime predators like leopard seals and killer whales. But unlike most animals, chinstrap penguins do not sleep in one big chunk. Instead, they spend their nights dozing in extremely fragmented sleep with thousands of microsleeps. Each episode of sleep lasts just a few seconds to tens of seconds before they fall back into wakefulness. But they repeat this process over and over again, totaling around a whopping 10,000 times per day. Now, you might be thinking it sounds pretty exhausting to fall asleep and wake up so often. Wouldn't it be easier just to get some solid, uninterrupted sleep? Well, not for the penguins. Their environment demands it. The birds live in icy regions of Antarctica, where temperatures regularly dip below freezing and strong katabatic winds whip across the landscape. Sleeping in short, frequent bursts allows them to keep an eye out for danger and makes it easier to maintain their body heat. If they were to fall into hypothermia, their body temperature would drop so low that their muscles would stop working normally. So quick naps help them stay warm and alert. In addition, these penguins often need to travel long distances to find food. And when migrating or searching for fish, they don't have time to waste. Sleeping in short bursts lets them rest while still being active. It's like taking a nap while walking. This way, they don't have to expend valuable energy landing and taking off again. Now, this isn't the first time we've discussed this phenomenon of rapid cycling between wakefulness and sleep. Back in 2016, researchers attached motion sensors to a group of birds called swifts to track their movements during migration. They found that these birds could sleep up to 23,000 times per day, taking 2-second naps while flying hundreds of kilometers each day. Swifts are small, long-distance migratory birds that can be found all over the world. Like chinstrap penguins, they face challenges while traveling, including having to stay alert for predators and keep their bodies fueled and rested. So what's going on here? What advantage does sleeping in such short bursts provide? To answer this question, researchers turned to a pigeon who was nice enough to be the lab rat in this study. They recorded the brain activity of the bird as it slept and noticed something strange. When the pigeon slept, only half of its brain was active. One side would shut down while the other remained awake. But instead of alternating sides each time it took a nap, the pigeon continued to sleep with the same half of its brain that had been resting before. The researchers concluded that the pigeon was able to remain conscious with one half of its brain while sleeping with the other. This is also known as half-brain sleep or unilateral slow-wave sleep. And although the technique hasn't yet been used on swifts or chinstrap penguins, researchers are pretty sure these birds use it too. Essentially, by sleeping in 2-second bursts, these birds can reduce their energy expenditure and stay alert for predators, allowing them to survive long journeys without expending too much energy. Some scientists believe that half-brain sleep may also allow these animals to keep watch for predators without losing consciousness completely. After all, the brain only accounts for about 2% of a bird's body mass. So, shutting down half of it doesn't require much energy. The researchers think that this behavior might also extend to other animals that migrate long distances, such as gray whales, which famously travel from their feeding grounds in the Arctic to their breeding grounds in the tropics, a journey that takes months. It would make sense for them to rest while still staying alert for predators. And there's evidence that they do take regular breaks during their swims, but they probably aren't quite as frequent as 2 seconds. What's more, scientists don't know exactly how the animals are able to sleep with only half of their brains. There are some recordings of what this looks like in action, but it's never been studied in detail. So although we know the why of this behavior, the how remains a mystery. And to top it all off, scientists are still unsure whether or not this behavior should actually be classified as sleeping. After all, a pigeon sleeping 23,000 times a day would only get a few seconds of shut-eye every day. That's far less sleep than any other animal that we know of. So perhaps these animals are just resting instead of sleeping. Or maybe there's some other explanation that we haven't thought of yet. As researchers continue to study this bizarre behavior, one thing is clear: there's a lot we don't know about the natural world and the animals that inhabit it. Who knows what other fascinating behaviors we might discover if we just take the time to look closely enough. For now, though, this discovery shows that there's always more to learn about even the smallest creatures on our planet. So keep your eyes open, because you never know what you might see next. Speaking of not knowing what you might see next, I am going to say goodbye now. But I will tell you to stick around for more fun science videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.